like the man, the myth, the legend, Coach Bandstra is back.
Yep.
You're now. I can't even keep up with your coaching.
You're about to make this sound a lot worse than it is. I'll give you the short version. So I think the last time I was on, I was at Bradford. I just got hired there after unceremoniously asked to part ways at Northwestern. We won, had a good year. And then we had some family health issues that required me to move out east. Father-in-law almost died. Some other things were going on. Some stuff so I took a step back, helped out at Zanesville last year. Was actually planning on going back to Zanesville. Looked at a couple like head coaching jobs, but nothing kind of either in the end, as I kind of went through the process, that either I wanted or that just kind of fit or didn't work out. And then like Tri-County North opened late. They called. They're in the conference with Bradford, so they were familiar with me. And it kind of just it happened fairly quickly, and kind of it was just good fit. Like I said, the opportunity to teach strength training during the day, so the financials with it for my family, my father-in-law doing better. So kind of you like add all those kind of factors together, kind of led us to here, and we're at in the middle of the transition and trying to rebuild a very once proud small Division 7 program on the western side of the state.
Yeah, I couldn't keep up because I was like, wait a minute, wasn't he an offense coordinator or wasn't he a head coach? Then he was an offense coordinator. And then getting ready for this, I was like, he's back to being a head coach because I've been so busy in my life that I couldn't keep up. I was like, wait a minute, hold on. Like, where's he at now?
Yeah. And I get flack online for it. It's funny. Like I just sit there and people will send me screenshots of forums and I just laugh and because people have no idea what's actually going on personally. But like I said, it is what it is. Like I said, I think it's a great opportunity. And like I said, I wasn't planning on leaving Zanesville. All set to come back. I mean, had a good gig. Principal and I worked really well together. Hired our line coach to be the new head coach. And like I said, it was heading the right direction, and Coach Clapper will do a great job over there. But like I said, this is the opportunity. I just couldn't, so many factors, just the potential, the financials, the teaching job, like everything kind of just added up to it. It just makes too much sense.
Right. I saw where it has a nice like turf field there. Like it looks like nice facilities where you're at. Cause I was doing research. I was like, where's the school at? And I was like, oh, that's a nice field. You were talking about getting the weight room going, getting the numbers up. I was like, that's a nice facilities.
Oh yeah. Like I would argue we have the best facilities in our conference. If not, second best, depending on who we're the only one with turf field. And it's been very well taken care of. The stadium atmosphere is great. It's like in a little bowl. At least like the home stands are up on a thing, and you got a beautiful walk down the field. And then I'd argue we probably have either the biggest or probably the second biggest weight room in our league. And like I said, brand new racks, brand new flooring. Like I said, our community wants a good football program and have invested, and will continue to invest. And there's a lot of things trending in the right direction. Even you go to our basketball gym, a school our size. It's hard pressed to have one that looks like our size, and just the quality in there. Like I said, I think everything's trending in the right direction. Our numbers K-8 are increasing enrollment, and like I said, everything's trending the right way you want it to trend.
Do you have control of the middle school football, or is that kind of separate? Or
I have full control, and we had a great staff down there who's done a great job buying in, and we're together all summer, lifting, doing drills and all that. Like I said, we got great staff, some with varsity experience, some with my middle school head coach has been a middle school coach for our school district for over 20 years. All of his kids have come through there. Ironically, his one of his older sons is our head basketball coach. So, and his youngest son will be a senior for us. So, like I said, it's a great thing. And like I said, everybody's kind of on the same mission and same viewpoint and how to handle things and the direction we want to go. And I think we're projected to have I mean, we'll have some hiccups throughout the year, no doubt, but I mean, we're trending in the right direction.
When you take over a program, um, you're not college, so it's obviously like you can't fire everybody and say I'm bringing in a whole new. When you walk in, do you always have a guy in mind to bring with you when it works out, or do you say I have to interview the guys that are here and go from there, or do you always have people in your back pocket when you interview, like, hey, I'm coming, but you got to hire this guy, or you got to hire.
It's kind of a combination. Like I said, I always interview everybody that was on staff that was interested in returning. That's just a general rule of mine. Like I said, I was fortunate we had a fairly decent staff here who at least had a lot of coaching experience or were like North alums who really are invested. So either of those combinations are always great combinations. I had some guys I reached out to. A couple of them really just it didn't work out just with scheduling or distance or some job changes for them. But I always try to keep a list and then I post it if I have to. I think it depends on the school your size and whether you can kind of get some people in. Like a school our size, there isn't really any teaching openings. Like people don't leave. I mean, we're probably one of the better paying small districts in the state. We're in a good location. So I mean, you're not leaving. Like we said, we got really good administration. I mean, there's not a reason to leave. So like outside of retirements, jobs just don't open. Like I mean, you look at I think they had 4 openings this year. The super retired, the AD retired, another teacher retired, and then the football coach went back to Indiana, where he was at, where he just retired from for the year before. So it's like the jobs don't like, and I think, I mean, outside projecting maybe like 1 or 2 possible retirements over the next couple of years, it's not expected because they're either North alums, they're either from the area, or they like what they're doing, and they've been there long enough that they love the place. And so I mean, I don't think we're going to have too many. I mean, obviously you always get maybe like an aid job that opens or a intervention specialist because that's always an interesting thing. But I think it's a little harder when you're at a small school, whereas a big school, you can kind of say, hey, I know we're going to have a couple openings. Let's do X, Y, Z. So that's kind of how I ended up at Zanesville. So I think every district and every head coach handles it differently. Like I said, I was fortunate to walk into a good group of coaches and kind of see where we go from there.
Because we're the same thing. Our district pays very well and everything. So teachers just don't leave. Even if they stop coaching, if they step down, normally when you do that, you leave, you go coach somewhere else. They're like, well, wait a minute, I make enough money. I'm not going to go anywhere. So we're having a hard time finding coaches. Like for football, every single year, we'll have like 2 stipends and we reach out to people and they're paid. And I know they're out of the building, so it's tough. But even then, they're like, yeah, I just can't commit to the time. We're like, yeah, but we're offering you thousands of dollars to come coach. It's paid. And I remember having to volunteer back in the day of like, you have to volunteer and then you get paid. And we have to like scrape. Like we finally just finalized our staff because we had stipends to fill. And even like just recently, our head basketball coach stepped down back in April. When he stepped down, then the sophomore coach stepped down, the freshman B coach stepped down, the varsity assistant stepped down. I was the only one that has not stepped down. So we have all these stipends. Nobody, like, it's hard to fill them. Nobody, like, in building even wants to coach.
I think it really depends on your area. Like, I think we kind of went through that at Zanesville, where we're on the eastern side of the state, where the teaching pay isn't as good, to be honest. Like once you get more rural, eastern Ohio, I don't even think it's necessarily the pay, to be honest. I think it's more you start looking at it. It's what is there to do out in eastern Ohio? Like that's the other factor of it because it's an hour to Columbus, over an hour. Well, I think it's an hour and a half, 2 hours to Pittsburgh. Like there isn't much. I mean, unless you're like hunting, there ain't much to do out here. Whereas you go, I'm back out at Western Ohio. Well, you got Dayton. Like there is a crap ton of stuff to do out there in Dayton. Columbus is an hour away. Indianapolis is an hour and 15-ish minutes away. Cincy's an hour and a half. Like if you want to go do something, you can go do something. But again, there's plenty to do in Dayton. Even in the suburbs, when you get like Inglewood, Heber Heights, like there is plenty of things to do and people to meet. And like I said, the pay's a little bit better. The cost of living's a little more, but I said that I think that's a lot of factor in it. I will say, like, this is my experience since COVID is teachers don't care anymore. A lot of them will move. I mean, the teacher that's got 20 plus years, it's hard to move. Don't get me wrong, because you're kind of capped money wise, but 10 years or younger teacher is going to move. So those jobs are a lot more competitive than they used to be. Like, they just are. And so, I mean, I think when you have job openings, it's hard to get those points open and get them filled with certain jobs just because of that. Especially with the teacher shortage, like you get a bunch of qualified candidates. Like, as an administrator, it's hard to ignore that. I get it. Like, this, do I hire this coach who's also a teacher, or do I hire this teacher who's can teach AP, college prep, this, and out of the 45 applicants we have? Like, I remember when I was at Northwestern, we got our history teacher in the building, who was an assistant of mine. We got him in the building. That job had 82 applicants.
Wow.
So it's like, I mean, it's sometimes competitive and hard. And so you kind of just got to evaluate those things. I think there's a lot of factors to it. And I think it's easier when you've won a lot to get people to take the stipends and do some stuff and willing to drive a little bit more. But, and again, it's different. And you know, as I do, Midwest demographics have changed. A lot of people have moved south and we're out of state. And somebody was telling me the other day that, like, Ohio's like 30th in terms of what's it called, transient population. So we're 30th, like, so there's 29 other states where numbers are going up, and we're 30th. And I mean, there's no secret, like, Ohio loses a lot of people, like Georgia, the Carolinas, and Texas. Like, weather's nicer, that's where jobs are. Like, the growth is, I mean, outside of really Columbus, there isn't a tremendous amount of growth like it used to be. So,
well, trust me, I live in Illinois, and people leave left and right. Especially this new tax raise that just happened, people are leaving left and right. We lose people to Indiana for sure. My wife's friend, they did that during COVID, or like 2021. They sold their house. They drove right over the border, got a bigger, better house for way less taxes, and could still work in Illinois because it was so close. Mm-hmm. So, like, you get the teacher pay, like the husband's a teacher, makes good money, but get Indiana taxes. So we lose to Indiana, we lose to Kentucky and Tennessee, and like my best friend growing up now lives in Tampa. Like, it just happens, and we lose people left and right.
It is the nature of the world. And, like, I mean, heck, we're 20 minutes from the border. Like, we generally, I mean, I could jump over to Richmond in a heartbeat and not be a problem. I mean, I have a buddy of mine who lives literally in Richmond, drives 30-ish minutes to a high school in Ohio, like, every day. So, I mean, it is what it is. And demographics, open enrollment have changed a lot of things, and for good and bad. Pros and cons to everything. We all know that, but
right.
I think that's what you just got to do. What you do to make your stuff in your area attractive. Social media more than probably I ever have in terms of our football program. So just trying to push out and kind of I'll highlight all the things we do, because again, open enrollment and all that it makes things interesting. So
yeah, I run ours. I did a very good job the first year. Last year, I did a horrible job of doing it because I was just so, well, you know how it is. Like, the first year I did it, I had an experience. I was an O-line coach, experienced O-line. So I started to coach them, but there was times where I could take a step back, get my phone out, run around. Last year, you know, you have inexperienced playing-wise group. So now you're coaching a lot more. So it was tough. So I remember last year, people are like, why are we not seeing, like, all the pictures and stuff? And I said, guys, I'm the O-line coach. I'm the run game guy. I got to make sure the offense is good. I got to coach this. I don't have time to pull my phone out and just run around and take pictures. Then it gets bigger. They're like, why haven't you made like a AT football TikTok? And I said, number one, no. Number two, we'll get in trouble for something. Something will happen and we'll get in trouble.
See, I just went ahead and made mine. We got a team Insta, TikTok, X, and Facebook, and I post everything on all four and go. And I'm with you on that. You can get in trouble, but that's why I on the like school Insta. I mean, school TikTok. I outside of liking a couple players like posts. I mean, it's just posting our stuff and going, just advertising our stuff again. But yeah, I mean, I get you on that. I luckily one of my middle school coaches is good with tech, and I'm able to have him just, hey, take pictures of this, do this. While we're in some situations like we did tug of war Thursday to him the first week, and he took some video, and I just screenshot some pictures off it and posted the pictures, and gotta get going and moving and all that jazz. So
yeah, I told myself coming into this year that I would be better, but then becoming the OC, I was like, well, that's not going to happen because I got to really make sure that everything's good. So I think the head coach said, why don't you just tell all position groups just once in a while, pull out their phones, take pictures and send them to you. And I'm like, yeah, I'm going to have to do that we can't even find managers. I'd love to find a manager and just be like, hey, can you pull your, like, here, take this camera, because we have lots of cameras. Take this camera, take pictures, and then we'll upload them. Mm-hmm. But we can't even do that.
No, it's there's no perfect answer, unfortunately, unless you, again, that's one of the big districts. It's a little bit better. You got your 12 freshman coaches that some of these Texas schools have, and somebody pull out a phone, or you got 85 student managers. So I mean, don't got that. Like I said, that when you're in year one and you're trying to install a bunch of stuff and teach stuff, it's kind of hard to stop and go, and especially when you're figuring out who you actually have and who you don't have and all that jazz stuff for the day.
Right, especially because when did I get the OC spot? It was like February, beginning of March.
Yeah, it wasn't. I mean, I remember you posting about it. I think it was March. Heck, it might have been almost April, if I remember correctly. So
yeah, I think it was March because there's a spring 7-on-7 league that goes on in a town near our school. Yeah, because it was before that, because then I had to. You can't really coach them. Actually, you can't. The only thing you have to do is make sure they don't get in fights, and you have the plays on like paper, and you can stand out there and show them, but you can't do anything. You just show them; they just go.
It makes no sense.
It makes no sense, but it's competitiveness that gets the kids together and throw around on a Sunday, and so you just stand out there. And now you can have like chalk talk meetings. Like you can come in before school and like, as long as there's no football around, like that's the Illinois rule, that you can come in and draw things, do things wherever you want, but you can't do anything. So I was doing that. Like, hey, come in the morning, we go over it. You give the kids plays, they get together on their own and try to do it. So that was my only like way, because I can't, because I was a part. So ROC stepped down just to take like a golf job, which
golf jobs are like, I mean, if you want a chill, easy life as a coach, that is a life right there.
Oh yeah, because our buddy that coaches in school, he doesn't coach football anymore. He got the head girls golf job. So he went to ROC and said, like, I'd really love you to be my assistant. So he battled with it for a little bit. And he's like, I've been coaching football almost 20 years. I want to get to a point where I can just relax. Like he felt like he needed, because he does that in basketball. Well, he was coaching girls flag football and boys football at the same time.
Yeah.
So like he was doing that. He was the assistant girls coach for basketball. He even did tennis. So like he was doing a lot.
That's loud.
So he was like, I just need to do something where I can relax. He loves golf. Yeah. So he stepped down and took it. The timing wasn't amazing, but I was like, I don't care what the timing is. We'll figure it out.
Yeah.
So I came in and like changed. I'd say I changed 60%, 70% of what we did. So like the passing stuff was new. So that's why I was like, I don't like the 7-on-7 thing, but I was like, you know what, just because we're changing everything, let's get it going. So that was the good part.
I don't think anybody actually enjoys 7-on-7, but it's unfortunate. It's become a necessary evil. But that is what that is.
Well, especially when you can't really coach it. Like if I could get together with like a practice and like, hey, let's practice, let's do this, let's do this. This is just kind of the kids figuring it out. Like on defense, we only had like 2 coverages in, and it's just kind of have to deal with it. for offense, it was like, hey, here's these 4 formations, 6 formations tops. Here's these 4 or 5 pass plays, go. And then the kids were kind of getting bored with it. So I was like, if you're getting bored with it, we can start adding motions into it. Here you go. Like, just start doing that. Like, and you have to put up on huddle, and you tell them, like, you have to print them off. You have to do this. Like, we're not doing it. We like a dad could be there supervising. We don't have to do it, but it was like we want to be there. But it's so hard to not coach. Like, you're standing there, like, hey, why are you? Da, da, da? And you got to keep quiet because if someone turns you in, you're like, oh, get in trouble.
Yeah, no, I get you.
So, because you guys have already started, yeah, we don't start till next week.
Oh yeah, I mean, God, I mean, our rules are weird, and there's ways to read it to where you pretty much have unlimited time. There's ways to read it where you got a bunch of restrictions. I mean, pretty much, I mean, for every 7 kids, if you got a coach, I mean, you can pretty much do stuff. And then, I mean, last year with the lawsuit, pretty much allowed unlimited 7-on-7s outside that 1 month after the season. And the wording on that's weird on whether it can only be 7 kids or 7 kids on each side and how that's interpreted and blah, blah, blah. And then we get 3 days in May as true practices, and you get essentially another 15 in the summer, which is really 10, but then you get 5 acclimation days the last 2 weeks of July. Again, it's not the Wild West, but it's almost the Wild West, and it's weird. And I mean, I do everything I can and humanly possible to take advantage of the rules, develop our kids, and the weight room's been good. And then we do some stuff from there and kind of trying to develop some kids and get kids caught up. And like I said, just head in the right direction. I mean, they've lifted on and off. I mean, our 8th grade class especially is extremely bought into the weight room and doing things, and so that's heading the right direction. And slowly but surely getting more and more high school kids and figuring out who's actually playing and who isn't. So as I keep kind of just poking and encouraging kids and see where we end at. I mean, I got 17 kids, I got 40 kids at the high school level. Whereas my middle school will probably have 30 to 40 kids. So like I said, just keep pushing and going, and understand I'll have kids out. Like, I mean, just fine. Like, I mean, we usually Thursdays, I ain't gonna see many baseball kids because you got summer baseball, which I tell them go play. I mean, same thing with I mean, we got basketball summer league stuff right now. So like, we're gonna be at Cedar Point next like Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday next week. Sweet, go have fun. Like, go play, go compete, get better. Like I said, and we'll adapt and adjust to what we can do when kids aren't there. And those are kind of the 2 things where when you're a small school, you got a lot of kids you got to share and figure it out and adapt and adjust. And I think we've done a good job of that so far. And our kids are kind of buying into that message.
Yeah, because in Illinois, we used to be 25 days in the summer. I think they scaled it back to 20, which is fine because we personally only use like 18. Even when we had 25, we only use like 18. But the definition, I'm going to dumb it down for you. If a football is a round, that is called a contact day. If there's a football, you could do weight room every day and it doesn't count. Like weight room, chalk talk, that does not count. As long as you label it open lifts. That's what the wraparound is. As soon as you go outside and start doing some with a football and a helmet, that's a contact day. You go to a 7-on-7, that's a contact day. So we use 18. And in Illinois, we can do joint practices. So you can have other schools come and do inside run versus them. You can do 7-on-7 versus them. You just cannot do 11-on-11. Like, you can't. And we can't wear lowers. Like in the summer, there's no like lowers. It's helmet, shoulder pads. That's another thing, which is fine. Because you just wear the girdles with the thigh pads in them and you're good to go. There's some other rule too. It's like you have to go like 3 days of helmet, 2 shoulder pads, whatever. And then if there's so much time in between, you have to start over. So let's say you go in 2 weeks in June, you give them 2 or 3 weeks off and go back in July, you have to restart that process. So we have to be very careful of that. and we have to plan it out. So like we go to a Bears 7-on-7 tournament, those 2 days count as contact days. It's not like, oh, those are extra. Like, no, that's part of our 18. So
I hear a lot of loopholes is what I'm hearing right now.
it's a lot of loopholes.
Oh,
Even in basketball, it seems like basketball has unlimited days, but and it might have changed. I don't pay attention to basketball as much, but I remember years ago coaching at Charleston, as long as you labeled it open gym, you could have as many as you want. And that was kind of like the loophole. And so I was the head 8th grade coach, also helping out the high school. So 8th grade, I just labeled everything open gym. But if you label it open gym, you can't coach. That's where it comes in. Like if it's open gym, you can't do drills. You can't do this. You can't do that. If you start labeling it as camp, then you only get so much time. But it's dumb because like basketball, our last day of school was a week from Thursday. So this past Monday started basketball. We went Monday through Thursday. We had a shootout Thursday already. Like we played 3 games. This week for basketball, varsity has a shootout Monday and Friday. Tuesday, Thursday, sophomores have a shootout. They play it goes all the way to the end of June.
Yeah.
Our
basketball could use the entire summer if they wanted to, but most are done by being end of June.
We're done. Yeah, we're done the end of June.
Maybe first week of July. But yeah, it's pretty much the same thing. Baseball will go till pretty much August 1st. On weekends, like competitive baseball, like rec and local baseball is done by mid-July, but high-level competitive baseball that where kids actually travel, which I have like 2 that do that. I mean, they're going into almost August, which I get. Like,
is your high school baseball season still going on, or is it?
State tournaments were they this weekend or next weekend? One of the 2. So yeah. I can't remember. I know softballs. I want to say it's this coming week. I want to say, just like I know state track was this week. Is this weekend? So I think baseball and softball are next week, if I remember correctly.
Isn't that crazy that it's because I think today's the high school super sectional for our state for baseball. Softball's like a week ahead.
Well, it's just our weather doesn't allow it to start early. Like you look down south, they're done, but also baseball starts in like February. So like everything's calendars are different. And a lot of that's weather. I mean,
I know it just
Midwest weather is not conducive to baseball and softball.
It's just crazy because like your seniors that have already graduated high school for weeks now still have to come back and like if they're still playing, if they're done, they're done. But even our regionals, the regionals were after graduations. I find it very.
I think our kids graduated with the 22nd, and I think they played another 4 to 6 games after that, counting playoff games, but end of season stuff and then playoffs. So, I mean, yeah, you're talking 4 to 6 somewhere in there.
Oh, here's another crazy rule for Illinois if you're interested. So football, let's say we play 9 games, you make the playoffs. Let's say you go 5-4, make the playoffs, you lose the first round. You can practice until that state title. So if you wanted to have your kids still come practice, they could still come out and practice. It's not like when you're done, you're done. But I'm like, what a stupid rule, because why would you practice? You're done. Like, just be done.
It is where it is. I mean,
I know it's a stupid
I don't know. I would be curious how many people try to still actually practice.
Oh, I know for a fact a couple years ago some did.
Yeah.
And I'm like, because it was the kids that don't play basketball and blah, 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 blah. And it's like, that was their way of trying to get extra work in. Like, okay, if you plan on playing football next year, come on out so we can see what we got. Because we don't get spring like football. Yeah. So it's like, that's another thing Illinois is battling right now is, do they implement spring football? That's the next.
I mean, that's what the kind of 3 days in May is close to for us, is that. But I mean, again, you kind of have the same problem when you're a big schools is not a big deal. Like, oh, our baseball and track kids will just go baseball and track, and we still have enough kids. But like small school, like I'm at, I mean, I'll get like 5 kids because they're all either in baseball or track. So I mean, it's not really doable for us. I'd like to try to do something next year, especially just how many incoming freshmen I'm going to have. But we'll see. We'll see how that goes.
Or the same thing, like our enrollment's 1,900, but if you saw our football program, we're like a small school where we roll into a varsity game with 35, 40 kids. but I guess it's always been that way. Our D line coach, his dad was the head coach at the high school for like 25 years. He's like, yeah, it's always been we roll in with 35, 40 kids. And then we play schools that roll in with like 60, 70.
Yeah.
It's so we have to coach our butts off. Like in our conference, there's a school. If they make the playoffs, they'll be the biggest school in the state of Illinois because it's split into 2 high schools, and it would be a total of 8,000 enrollment. It's 4,000 in each school. So when we go play them, they roll in with like 70, 80 kids on their sideline. And we're like, oh my God, we have 35, 40. Playoffs really hurt us because we'll be 7A and we go play a team and they roll in with that. And we're like, man, so we're a biggish school with small town football feel of like these kids got to all play both ways, most of them. We can't do a college practice like these other schools, and it's very strange because football's taking a hit. Like in Illinois, all over, unless you're East St. Louis or Lincoln Way East, and these schools that people have heard of, they have all taken a hit of football.
I mean, I think that's everywhere. I mean, to a point. Like, I mean, there's still areas where that's not true, but I think numbers in general. I think a lot of it. I mean, I had this conversation with my assistants the other night. Is a lot of it's job related. Like, I mean, kids would rather get jobs and get paid than do a high school sport. Like,
well, they found that out during COVID. During COVID is what kind of.
Well, you saw your buddy making money, and now you just keep trying to make money. Like, and that just funnels down. So, I mean,
right. So I don't know what you guys do. We try to tell them like, no, obviously there's certain financial situations with families that we can't, like, you just don't, like, as soon as you find that out, you're like, okay, I get it. Then there's some where you're like, you have the rest of your life to work, man. Like, try to enjoy. Now in the summer, we try to help. That's why we go in the morning. Like, we try to help of like, if you want to work, we try to get it done. We don't do anything Fridays or Mondays or the weekends. So it's like, you guys have time to do what you need to do. Even if you leave practice early, if we go like 9 to 12, but a part of that's lifting, and you're like, hey, I got to leave at 11, 11:30 to go work. We try to make it work. Like, okay, cool. You got some work in, go. But we got kids we know for a fact don't need to work. It's their decision. And we're like, you got the rest of your life, man.
Well, that's when like you listen to state lawmakers complain. They're like, well, that's about enrollment and attendance. I mean, the reason school attendance and sport participation's down a lot of it is because laws have allowed them more and more to work. I mean,
yeah,
is what it is, and that's his life. But that has drastically altered athletic participation and even school attendance. Like there are plenty of kids who just don't go to school and will just go work.
That's my program that I work in. They call it the bag. Behavior, attendance, grades. So we call it the bag. And now they just can't help it. I had like 2 kids my first year, had to work third shift and try to come to school. And you find out that they live with grandma, so they have to really work and stuff like that. So we have to make it work. But other kids we have, they'll like straight up tell us in class, hey, I'm not going to be here tomorrow. And we're like, wait a minute, why? You got a doctor's appointment? Like, no, I picked up a shift tomorrow. I'm not going to be here.
Yeah. Like, and then you wonder why attendance and state report cards are where they are. So it's a nonstop battle, and it is what it is. So,
so you took over. Don't give away the magic sauce. How do you know what you're going to implement when you take over? Obviously, you have to look at the kids you have, obviously.
I mean, offensively, I mean, what we're going to run was very, how do I want to phrase this? Offensive line based, based off what was returning, kind of looking at the roster, watching some film, and then kind of seeing kids in person that would show up on Saturdays and during the week for lifting. Defensively, I was already kind of trending away with being between Bradford and Zanesville. There's some stuff I think kind of benefits. It's just kind of figuring out some stuff still and who we have and who we don't. I think I think that small school ball you can get away with a lot more defensively.
Oh, for sure.
Whereas big school ball you can't. I think offense is kind of the harder, trickier question. I think we kind of got a good idea of what we're going to do. Very, very offensive line friendly. I said my goal is to get our main play done by the end of June and down. Run game wise, pass game wise. I mean, we got 2 quick games in already, so we'll see how that kind of rolls and going. And but yeah, like I said, just trying to make it fun, make it interesting. Like I said, I mean, I've taken and again, I've coached under center and gun, but I mean, like I said, I think some of the stuff we're doing is kind of interest and exciting for the kids. So, and we're in a league with very a diverse group of offenses. I mean, we got under center wing T, we got shotgun wing T, we got power T. We have this weird gun triple thing in our league. So, I mean, it's a very eclectic. I mean, we'll see the Maryland Eye at some point in the year.
Love it.
Yeah. So we'll. I mean, we see the gambit. I mean, one of our opponents has done like 4 7-on-7s already. And they're at like every state 7. I mean, and they can throw the ball. They always have been. They're one of the 2 powerhouses in our league. So, like I said, it's kind of the gambit of stuff. We'll see regular eye. Like, I mean, we're about as eclectic in terms of a league as you can be. So it kind of makes things interesting. Try to teach simple things, simple rules, and gotta be able to kids that gotta be able to figure out how to play multiple spots because somebody goes down, people going to move. So
right,
thing with small school football. So offensive line wise, they're all gonna get wristbands, and this is kind of say if we're running this to this side, to your side, that's what you're doing. Like I'm gonna keep it simple, just in case I gotta move a running back to guard midway through a game. So it is what it is.
Will you watch film of that school and see what they were good at beforehand and think about trying to do some of that so they're not learning something brand new? Or like if it's similar to what you're going to do, like you talk to them and say, hey, what was your communication? Or do you completely change it all?
I typically go in fresh. I mean, this job's a little different because I'm the 3rd head coach in 3 years. So when you're in that kind of process, they've kind of been through the gambit, so it doesn't really kind of matter. I think if it had been something a little more long staying, that might be a different answer. But I mean, 3 head coaches in 3 years. I'm like the 6th head coach in 9 or some whatever. I don't remember what the stat is. It's dumb. And there's a variety of factors of why it is, but yeah, I kind of just started putting in our own terminology and going like it like. The plan is to be here the long haul. So it's like, might as well just get your terminology in, what you can remember, what you can figure out. I mean, I've cleaned up some things. It's kind of assistants have asked questions and kind of try to streamline as much as possible. And that's kind of where we're at. Like I said, try not to do too much and against my urge to do more. But I mean, like I said, don't got much in right now. Trying to add to it slowly. But we gotta get good at what we gotta get good at first. Like I've kind of told our assistants all summer, like, I don't care if you gotta go to like a snail's pace, just teach. Go slow, teach step by step. I don't care if it's gotta turn into walking pace. I mean, we gotta teach. And then it comes down to like non-contact tackle drills. Like slow it down. Like it's not that big of a deal right now. Like it's like big, just emphasize the little things. Like anytime a kid catches a football, get upfield, give me 5.
Right.
Like little details like that we're trying to 7 through 12 implement and clean up and make sure we're good. I mean, it's something simple as like a leverage tackle drill. That's just non-contact. Well, smack them on the hip, track the back hip. Like it's just little things like that. Knee tackling on bags, like emphasizing the little things.
Right.
Like, so even ball security. I mean, I'm monotonous with ball security. We do ball security every day, offense and defense, and every kid runs through it. I even make linemen go through ball security, just because especially small school. But I think just in general, like you never know when a fumble is going to happen on the field. You never know defensively, scoop and score situation, interception, fumble. Never know what happens. So you never know when a kid, heck, one of my linemen might be on kick return. So they need to be able to handle a football. And it's just general skills like that. Freshman or sophomore who's a lineman now might senior year be a skill kid.
Right.
Or I might have to move him to a skill spot as the year goes on. And injuries happen. So I think that's kind of why we do it and how we do it. And it's kind of something I picked up from a friend of mine. But we have, I mean, a monotonous level of circuits and little details we try to focus on.
How do you sell what you want to do to your assistants? Do you do it in the interview process or when it's done? Like, this is what I want to do. What do you guys think? Tell me what you think, but this is kind of what I want to do. And I'm the boss man. So
I think it depends on the school. I think I had a lot more opinionated staff when I was at Northwestern. Bradford and here have kind of been good with whatever. I think they kind of see what I want to do offensively and kind of agree with our personnel. I mean, we have some athletic kids. If we can give them some space, what we're trying to do, a good buy-in. It's kind of them learning. I'm teaching them and them at the same time. It's a little tiring. I'm probably going to call offense and defense, which is kind of tiring.
Oh,
yeah.
That hair's going to disappear very quickly for you.
Oh God, I'd be happy to just turn gray. But it's kind of just figuring that out, and I think kind of what we're doing so far, the kids are enjoying it, the coaches are enjoying it, and they're kind of understanding. I'm getting some good questions, and some of those questions again, like have led to some streamlining. Like they're, hey, what about blah blah blah, and it kind of makes you think and evaluate, and okay, something we could change or streamline, or I mean, because you can see the monotonous of some of my combination of everything I mean, being a YouTube content creator has its pros, but obviously some of the cons is so much crap.
Mm-hmm.
And for the years, so you can kind of see the meshing of the air raid stuff. Like I'll call one of our trip sets early and late. But at the same time, you'll see some like the naming and tagging very wing T-ish, and it's a monotony and combination of things, and there's some good, there's some bad with it, and just trying to figure out kind of what works, and the evolution over the next couple of years will be interesting. So some things have come full circle, some things have evolved greatly.
Are you telling your coaches exactly what drills to do, or are you telling them, hey, this is the okay?
I've given probably our O-line coaches a little bit more freedom because there's so much experience down there.
Okay.
And so I've kind of observed, and I'll give them some notes and blah blah, and I gave them some drill video and kind of certain things I want. Skill kids, I've been a lot more hands-on with. Now kind of continue, and so I kind of teach the coaches the drills. But like again, it's kind of, this is the organization structure I need, and this is kind of what I'm looking for, especially with what we're running defensively. There's some very specific drills that I need done that are very scheme oriented, whereas offense, not as much. I'll phrase it that way. I'm trying to keep some things hidden until week one, but
well, no, because like for this might happen on your show, but for me, when we had our staff meeting, I kind of told them in our document, our Google Doc, I will type in what I want, but I'm not going to tell you what drill to do unless we have a verbal conversation or like you call me, because I'm going to type what I want to see. So what's a prime example? Key screens. Like, hey, I'm going to type in, I want to see stock blocking. Like I'll type in stock blocking. Now, how you drill it, I kind of want them to have their own spin on it, their own fingerprints on it, because I've been around these coaches, like the coaches that are here we've coached. So I'm like, I trust you guys to do this. Now, if I look over and I see something that how you're blocking, it's not what we're doing, I will walk over there and kind of, I don't type in exactly what drill. The old line coach I kind of do, because I've now become the quarterback coach, our old line coach. I'm like, hey, those were my babies. Like I've been their old line coach, for a while. So some of those, but I want them to think on their own. I want them to have I want them to feel so involved. Now, we obviously have conversations, or if they come in and say, "Hey, you typed in you want to see this. This drill works with that." I go, "Boom, you're good." Now, if you come in with some drill that has nothing to do with what we're doing, I'm like, "Well, that's not what I said." So that's kind of where the assholeness that comes in of like, "Hey, but I want to see this." So you figure out, I don't care how you do it, just do it. I'm not going to tell you what to do.
And again, it's just, I mean, a lot of what we're doing is still so fundamental that it's we're not deep in the woods yet. Like especially defensively, like D line. Like my big thing has been like getting off out of your stands and hands. Get out of your stance and hands. Get out of your stance and hands. I'm not even worried about any of the other stuff yet. Um, Offensive line, they're doing a pretty good job. And then like skill wise, like it's fairly set. And again, like I said, it's not rocket science what we're doing. Kind of a lot of explaining, a lot of teaching, especially as the week ended. And this week, I mean, we kind of slowed some stuff down. Like I said, some kids were getting sore and tired because, again, hadn't done a lot of this stuff before. So
Right.
that and we couldn't use the weight room Wednesday and Thursday because wrestling had wrestling camp. So they got to experience what a dumbbell and band only circuit was on the football. And you could see some kids were hating their life, and it's just like, yeah, they're like, I'll push you a little bit today. I want to push you a little bit, like so. But yeah, I mean that's what I told all of our board members. Like I don't need the weight room. Like I can get plenty of done. That's like COVID taught me that. I mean, I remember we came back from COVID and we had like a week and change of just band work, and kids were dying. So it's like you can get plenty. The dumbbell and the bar stuff are great, but you can get plenty of body weight and other stuff done.
Right.
So kind of just keep pushing, and our kids are excited because I've slowly started introducing fundamentals of Feed the Cats without calling it Feed the Cats, but it's being introduced, and kids are starting to get timed, and we're going to start doing more speed related drills. Probably after this week. This week's a little weird, just because I had some prior commitments that I had before I took the job. But after this week, I mean, we're kind of hitting on it and like see if we can expose and improve our speed. So
I'm glad you brought that up because I was going to ask you that. Was that the hardest thing to sell? Is that type of, or has that been pretty easy?
no, I mean, I think we've pushed them in the weight room and we pushed them with that, and kids are excited about. I mean, I had kids who weren't here last week who are texting me and messaging me back about if we're timing next week because again they weren't here this week because they were on vacation, and it's like yeah, we're timing every week. We'll time you. We're gonna get faster. It might not happen overnight. I mean, I talked about speed improvements I've had at some other places, but I mean, like I said, run fast. I mean, don't got to do it very often, but you got to run full speed, get a certain amount in. And then I think, again, you're lit. I know Tony's not as big as lifting. He uses the weight room, but I mean, I try to focus on very specific things, depth jumps, box squats, split squats, things that are really going to focus on help broad jumps. So, I mean, my warm up is still very Tony Holler based. And that'll kind of evolve throughout the year, improve. If I had more time, I would have taught more track-oriented stances for 40s, but a little late in the timeline to add some of that in. But, oh, yeah, I like anything explosive. If I had more time, I would have taught hanger power cleans.
Right.
So, but
all right. Coach Allball's yelling at me for my Alabama helmet, so let me rearrange if that's better for him.
Hey, he's great at making sure that the seed looks good. So you might want to listen. So, yeah.
Oh, I'm listening. I'm trying to see if that helps now.
Yeah. That is funny. That is, oh God. But yeah, no, like, and I mean, speaking of which, I have 2 helmets in my room, my classroom, but yeah, so it's all about speed development and getting faster and doing what we need to do, and strength and speed. And I mean, I've told kids over and over again, if you're getting faster, you're probably getting stronger. Like it's just, it's just physiology. That is genetics 101. And so it's kind of developing the game and going from there. And Like I said, I think they're buying in. I mean, we spend an obscene amount of money on protein, and so our kids walk away with either protein bar, protein shake every day when they leave, and then usually something else too. I've been put trail mix and kind bars and all kinds of other stuff. You can grab one of those too. We'll have popsicles here soon in the freezer. My board member found me a not brand new fridge, but a lot newer than the one that was in there. So been using that, and like I said, just trying to make kids want to be there. I think when you invest in kids, that kind of helps. Like you're posting times, you're encouraging kids, you're feeding kids. Like it makes it a good atmosphere for kids want to be at. Like I tell people all the times, like if I can get somebody there for 2 or 3 days in a row, they're probably going to stay. Like seriously, like if I get you there, I'll make sure I can make sure you have experience. I mean, unless you share first day you show up is the day we're running 40s and then you run 340s and start puking because you haven't been there all the time. But again, sometimes it's just bad choices.
Right.
And I had one kid figure that out this week. I'm like, wrong first day. But again, like I said, it's like I'm not killing you. Like we're in 340s. Like, yeah, it's tiring, but it's a good time, and you get timed and you hear it, and coaches relay it, and we had some decent times. And other times I'm like, hey, that fullback. I joke with our fullback that you look like a guard.
They love hearing that.
He laughs, and he's not. He's gonna play fullback, but it allows you to also joke with kids and have some fun, and like I say, creates a good environment.
You got a question from Coach Allball here.
Oh God.
What budget do you guys take protein supply from? Football budget or athletic budget?
Football budget. I've been at some other places where we've had like Bradford. We got a little bit we able to use from the trainer's budget, but I mean that was all our football budget. Luckily, I had some money in our account. I mean, but we spent $1,600 on protein.
Yeah, it's expensive.
I'm not going to sugarcoat Medco. I mean, you can get stuff at cost through Medco, which is nice. So it goes a long way, a lot of Gatorade laid stuff, but yeah, it's all out of ours. And again, I've had our districts where they'll pay for it, or it'll be split amongst several sports, or I think every place is a little different. Bigger schools are usually a little more friendly with that, whereas when we're small like this, it is what it is. And like I said, I invested, I mean, very heavily in protein. Like would I love a new sled or some of this other stuff? Yes. I mean, I have some sisters that really want some new pop-up dummies, but the protein is the number one thing for me.
Mm-hmm.
And then, yeah, that gear and decals have all been kind of ordered and good, and got our apparel store going now, and kind of see where we're at. So,
at a smaller school, how much fundraising do you have to do? A lot of it, or do you kind of try to rely on the budget?
There's quite a bit of it, but I try not to overdo it. Because I think that's where you get in. I only really have the kids do one. We'll do our lift-a-thon at the end of July. So that'll be our kind of big fundraiser. We do an apparel store, but everybody knows you don't make any money off apparel.
No.
God, the most I've ever made off apparel is like $400 or $500, and that's because I pretty much got most of the bonus because who did it for us? Her kids were on the team, and she's an actual distributor, and she did a really great job. But outside that, I mean, you make a couple hundred, maybe $1,000, depending on the size of your school. You don't make any money with that. We have a little donation program, which I send out for donations from businesses and local and all that jazz. And we've got one donation already, working on more. There's a couple different tiers to it. Like for us, it's Scarlet and Gray. Tier memberships, but like I said, so those are kind of the main ones. I've done the donation cards for the little cards with businesses, and those are a pain. Golf outings I've done before, but our basketball program does one, so I try not to step on toes, but I also try to tell people, like, I get everybody gets hit, and I try not to bug you. Like I'll hit businesses in and around our community and kind of go from there. But like I said, just you got to be mindful of that and fundraise where you can. And I got a bunch of old jerseys, which I'm going to talk to administration about selling maybe for like $5-10 a piece.
Mm-hmm.
Community and all that, so I can kind of raise some funds and clean up some storage. And then you kind of go from there. I'd really like to get to maybe next year doing a reverse raffle. or
Yep.
some sort of silent auction. Those are usually pretty good. Partner with like the track program or basketball program and do it. But we'll kind of see how it goes. And like I said, I mean, our school board is willing to invest if there's something we absolutely need. But again, I'm not going to take advantage of that either. Like if I need something, I'm going to go to you. Otherwise, I'll figure it out.
Coach Allball stealing the show. He has another question on here. He's just stealing. Top 30 things your program spends your money on.
Top how many?
Top 3.
Nutrition, gear. I'm trying to think what the third thing would be. I mean, it won't happen this year, but it'll probably be tournaments next year. Nutrition's the number one thing. Again, we have a wide, diverse group of kids socioeconomically. So I try to make sure they're fed and they're getting enough food in day general. Also, I think as a health and PE teacher now, kids and families don't understand nutrition. Don't understand how much protein you really need. I also tell kids all the time, I know you're not going to be perfect. Like you're teenagers, you're going to drink pop, energy drinks, food. Like I'll educate you, but I'm not dumb and unrealistic. Gear, kids love gear. Kids love decals, helmet stickers, shirts. I mean, sweet Lord. I mean, it is the thing kids love. And that gets me one more kid, then I will do it. I don't care. It's also just free advertisement for your program. I mean, just be honest, it is 100% free advertisement once you get it out there. And then like 7-on-7 tournaments and other stuff next year, / equipment. Like, I mean, but again, that stuff, I can get by an entire practice with just trash cans. So everything we can do can be handled outside that, like I said. But again, the apparel and the nutrition are the number 2 things. 3, that's kind of a revolving door depending on the year. You could argue professional development as part of it. But like I said, I mean, it's funny. I was watching some of Nate's Cheap Pigskin's YouTube videos the other day. I forget what one was I watching. I don't even remember what I was watching, but I was watching one. Like I said, there's so many avenues of development that I think that's kind of altered as well. So
we're the same way. We look at protein. Is it peanut butter and jellies? Is it this? Is it that? Is it whatever? Of course, you got to look at gear. And then I think, what was it, last year, he really wanted like defensive and offensive goal boards in our team room. So like, did we meet our goals? So he gets those boards made. We got weight room boards, stuff like that. That costs money. So he's like, that's what it is. Our equipment's fine. We don't look at, the equipment lasts forever, even though if it's old. The first question is, can you get by with what we have? If there is something new, is it just going to benefit like the O-line, or can a lot of people use it? That's kind of where now our head coach, if it was up to our head coach, he'd be like, yep, this is just for the O-line. He's big on like, that's just for the O-line. But you know how it works. If you go to people for money, well, wait a minute, who does this benefit? Is it just 10 kids, or is it your whole program? So it becomes like, who can use this?
Give me footballs and like 10 to 15 trash cans, and I can run an entire practice. Not any problem. Like,
oh yeah, that's what we did last year. We got a jugs machine. They never had one. We got one. We use it for special teams. We use it for.
We got a broken one that I need to fix. So that was already broken when I got there. So I got to get that fixed. But again, like, would I like a new sled and some pop-ups? Yeah. That stuff's expensive. And that's the problem. It's not like there's a great bundle you can buy or anything. Like it's all obscenely expensive. So that's kind of where you got to kind of figure out, like, if you can get a donor or whatever. I mean, that's one of the things when I was at Bradford. I mean, we bought a new sled and a new chute. And like I said, that those were kind of some benefits there. But again, I can get by with trash cans and small bags and shields. And I mean, especially like one of the things I took from like listening to all these slop T coaches this offseason, as much as I would love to run it and we're not, they have rarely ever any full contact in their practices. It is all full speed and all you see on their field is kids with shields and hurdles. Like, I mean, I got some practice film from one of the coaches, and like it is all just full tempo, and the guys with shields don't even really move half the time. Like they just kind of stand there, which kind of defies some of your normal logic. But like, no, it's about reps, it's about angles. It's like we come off the ball so quick that it doesn't matter if they move. And I think that stuff, like, it makes me more and more want to just get more shields. And like we're going to do a lot of half line just because of how small we are, at least this year. And like I said, get running and going. And yeah, like to be honest, if I'd almost pay for a cameraman or something to help promote and advertise before next, and more gear. Like, I mean, I'm all about program promotion. Like I was, who was I talking? Oh, it was Lance Burrell out in Utah. He's at the American, like AFA, or I forget what it is. His school's name is like really small school in Utah, and he really got me back onto how to promote and how to do things. First time I've ever had a school Instagram account, so this has been interesting. And then I was rewatching Chandler Tygard's presentation the other day. I was on my channel about culture and promoting your kids and promoting your program. And again, it kind of hit on the same thing. And so we've been posting pictures, videos, advertisements everywhere humanly possible. That kind of goes back to our donation form. Like, I mean, I put our first gray donor on our they'll be on all of our 40 time and 10 time postings. Like it'll have a little spot, it'll say gray members or gray donors, and it'll have his name. And then as we gain more, I'll put them and the scarlet ones on there too. Like or if you give me a company logo, I'll pop that baby on there. Like I'm all about, I'll promote your business. Like, I mean, our TikTok account is slowly growing and exploding. It's dumb. Like, I mean, like, I don't even remember what it is. I should probably kill sound so you don't get copyright striked. Because you know how fun YouTube is. I mean, I started this a month ago and we almost got almost 200 followers already. Like, and so like it's that's slowly exploding and liking and all that jazz. And so I think that's kind of where I'm at. Like the third thing changes, but it's nutrition and gear all day long. It's stuff kids care about. And it's also, I mean, the important stuff, nutrition, recovery, and physical development. So,
I had a good question and my mind slips and I forget about it. Oh, are you coaching a position then? Or are you kind of just bouncing around?
oh God,
Or all of them? Are you coaching all of them?
By the time the season starts, I'll be coaching a position. Offensively, it'll probably either be backs or quarterbacks. It's me and two other skill coaches. So kind of figure out how that works. We'll probably go. I mean, I got 35 offensive line coaches that just go stand in the corner and coach their kids. Which I mean, I'm all for. I'll figure out how to coach skill kids by myself if I can have that many line coaches. But yeah, will be one of those two positions. Defensively, it's kind of everybody right now. Like as much as I know I need to coach our kind of like our outside backer position / backers. It's really hard for me to leave DBs. I've really fallen in love with coaching DBs over the years. Safeties especially are really fun to coach. But so yeah, I mean that's kind of where we're at right now. So we'll see. It's kind of, I mean, to be honest, I've kind of picked up from Seton Hill's defense coordinator, who's now their head coach as of yesterday. A lot of very, especially defensively, circuit-based training, teaching everybody to do everything. But that's just because we're so small. Like you might play D-line this week, you might play outside linebacker next week. I mean, it's kind of the need. Whereas a year from now, that's probably not going to happen because if I can keep this 8th grade class together, that's 15 to 20 kids. I mean, it'll double the size of my roster. I mean, yeah, we'll be very freshman heavy, but I mean, they're going to be strong, like uncannily strong. They're committed to the weight room, and we're going to keep it that way. And So develop them.
You said this kind of earlier. You have your fingerprints all over the middle school. Um, you tell them, "Hey, this is what we're doing at the high school level. I would like to see this."
Mhm.
If they were to come to you and say, "Hey, we're doing what you want, but we think these kids are good at X, Y, and Z," will you adapt that then and
Oh,
say,
yeah.
"Yeah, try
I,
that"?
I think that's where if it's something like that, let me know what it is so we can put it in our terminology. Like I said, I want them to be successful. Like, yeah, again, I want them to be able to run our base stuff when they get to us, but success is just as important. Like, it's like winning makes it a lot easier for kids to stay playing the sport.
Right.
Like, it just is. I mean, my big thing for him, and I've told them, is retention. Like, develop them. Where they're functional, come into me, and they're coming back. I was like, the rest, like, I'll get them stronger. Don't worry about that. Like, they will get physically stronger. Like, after I get back from Coles later today, I'm literally going to be sitting there just hand doing all of our weight stuff. And I know I can do it online, but again, like I said, some of the stuff just I need hands done. Like by next year, I'll have it all automated, like I did at Bradford.
Mhm.
But we're just not at that point yet. And I got again, once I have a better idea of who's actually playing, then that'll be kind of easier to do going into the summer.
Will you guys meet on Saturdays or Sundays, or do you give them that time off?
Sundays, so Zanesville is the first place I've ever been where kids came in ever Sunday. Um, so I try to avoid that like the plague. Um, Again, I try not to interfere with religious and kind of just recovery days in general. Saturday, I go back and forth on all the time because like Bradford, we really didn't. I mean, we had two
Mhm.
games on Saturday, and then otherwise, a lot of times I just give them the Saturday off. To be honest, I'd rather sleep and
Mhm.
recover. Because again, like I'm not unrealistic. You're a teenager. We're going to get done with the game. You're not going to fall asleep till 1 or 2 a.m. And
Mhm.
ask you coming at 7 or 8. That's not. Um, well, I'll probably do. So it'll just kind of depend, kind of where our health is and everything. We'll have open times to see our trainer for recovery stuff, but there's probably a good chance not too much unless we got a Saturday game. If we get enough numbers for 8-man JV games, um, kind of from there. We might have some middle school games on Saturday, anyways, because I might get if I have 40 middle schoolers, I want to have B/7th grade games on Saturdays. So
Mhm. Will you make your coaches come in then if the kids don't, or you kinda let them?
we'd probably come in Sunday. That's probably what I am. Take Saturday off, rest, recover. I mean that way it gives you time. Everything can be done online or through text at this point. And again, with what we're running, there's not like I and this is where I go down this. I hate trying to add a bunch of stuff as the season goes on.
Mhm.
Like small adjustments or like a trick play or this or that. That's fine. But it's really should be your conversations to me should be okay, what adjustments or what do we need to be ready to do week to
Yep.
week? There might be a little thing or tweak or whatever, but I mean, there shouldn't be any major changes.
Right. That's
Yeah.
that's probably what we're gonna do is he'll have us come in on Saturday mornings probably at the beginning of the season just so we're all on the same page, and as it progresses forward,
Yeah.
"Hey, you guys kinda do it on your own. If you wanna meet, that's up to you." So, like, if I text the running backs, wide receivers coach, "Hey, we are gonna meet Saturday at 11 or 10 a.m., meet me." Or get on Zoom, like, "Hey, we are meeting on Zoom," like, hop on. But most of the time, it's a phone call, it's, you know.
I just vehemently say I hate Zoom meetings, even for coaches, because I just feel like there's always stuff lost in transition or not paid attention to, or they run too long. That's my personal opinion. Um,
That's why we try to make it, like, individual, so the running back coach is like, "Hey, can you get on for a second? I wanna show you," like, or I if it were to happen, I'm like, "Cool, let's get it," but
I just had I think so many issues with it last year. I already didn't like him in the first place, but just nah. Um, and I mean, nice thing is we all live. I mean, within 10 minutes of the school building, like so. Um,
okay, yeah.
like it won't like jump over. Like again, go to church in the morning, do your stuff. Like I said, unless you'd rather meet in the morning. If they want to meet in the morning, I'll meet early in the morning. If you just want to go to a later service, that's fine. I don't know. I mean, we got our big church is literally a block from the school. Like, we can meet after you get out. I'm not that stressed about it. Like, so
Right. Well, see, I'm 35 minutes, so I'm like, nope. If we're meeting, it's got to be important. I'm not going.
no, I get you, and that's always a factor in where the size school and who lives where. But I mean, I think everybody lives either in the community or within 10 minutes. Like, so it's not that stressful, and um, like I said, everybody can get there pretty quickly and in and out. And like I said, we got a good community, and it's a good place. Half our community drives around the community in golf carts.
Oh, love it. Love it. You're speaking my language.
I get probably 10 kids dropped off every day in golf carts. It's great.
Love it.
I want to start. I want to start videoing it because it's awesome. Like, I love just the culture of it. Like, people just zooming around town in golf carts, and because it's not like, I mean, unless you're going the outskirts of the school district or anything, but if you're in the main town, like, you're just zooming around town in them. It's like sweet. Like, it's just, it's literally just golf cart pulls up in front of the weight room. Like 3 kids get off. Golf cart zooms off. It's great. It's hilarious.
You've got to make that a TikTok video. Get some type of
detail. What I really need to do is, as these kids get older and get their licenses, I just need to get like golf cart parking. Like, just 4 golf carts. It'd be hilarious. It'd just like sell spots as a fundraiser or something. It'd be hilarious. Like, I just love it. Like, our board member, who's also one of our volunteer assistants, like, he's a Michigan fan. It's all Michigan decked out. He drives up every day in it. It's great. Like, it's like, sweet, good. I was like, hey, I'm all for it. Like, why not? Like, take advantage of it and use it. And like I said, it's very, very community friendly. And I also get it because the going down the hill to our field is not bad. Coming up, I mean, like, I think I averaged, while I was there last week, 11 miles a day.
Woo!
Yeah. Oh, again, clean up the weight room, like lifting in our field stuff, moving equipment. We're starting to get my classroom the way I want it. Like, I mean, I've been hustling. So, yeah, like, you gotta be ready to move.
Yeah. Well, Coach Bandstra, taking all your time. Appreciate you coming back.
No problem, my friend. No problem.
To the show. I'll have to find your guys' TikTok and check that out.
Just it's either, this is where I gotta remember stuff. It's like TCN football, or is it football TCN? Which one of the two? Yeah. So it's like, here, I can tell you in 5 seconds. I do have a personal TikTok too that I started. I finally bit the bullet on that one. And that's just like football clips and occasionally other things. TCN football. So that's where you can kind of see everything we're doing. And I post everything. Again, a lot of it's pictures and some video in there. Like, the main video on there was the where all the protein came in the pallet. Drop that baby in there and just pick. I got to remember when I do TikToks, I keep them appropriate songs as we kind of go through. Like, there's some like, oh, yep, I want to do that. And like, nope, that's not going to end well for me. But yeah, but we're promoting, advertising, trying to go, and just trying to get kids bought in, and like we're doing. Like, I have some kids that will text me back and say, hey, I haven't done it before, not sure. I'm like, just come give it a try. Don't like it, don't come back, but see if you like it. And out there last night, doesn't hurt. So
same with us. I'm like, just try the summer. That's what the summer's for. Try it. Don't like it, we won't hate you. There's no ill will.
Exactly.
Well, Coach Bandstra, thank you so much.
No problem, my friend.